going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Combat Deviants here with Steve Rochelle, Evil Eddie, Carrie Steller going to be joining us here in a second. And Steve has a loaded show for everybody, but I'm not going to give anything away because UFC 280 is just enough to make you guys tune in. Now, Steve, you want to give a quick preview of what we got in store for today's show? But before you do that, I always do this. Let me just tell everybody, make sure to subscribe down below. If you're watching this on the Belly Up Network, hit that subscribe button, but also go to the Combat Deviants YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button as well, because we're trying to get to our first 100 subscribers where we may be doing a giveaway there as well. And there may be a special giveaway.
Hey, we got a
not
whole
to
bunch of
mention.
stuff playing right now. Like, if you guys listen to the show the last few weeks, I already said when we get down to BKFC down there in Orlando, anyone who can predict our recent guest Jessica Borga's fight, we're gonna do a little giveaway.
Ooh. Whoa. I want to see that again. Let me see that one.
Well, you want to see it signed? It's signed.
Hey, that was a little sneak peek right there if I've ever seen one. But Steve, while I check the audio, I want to ask you something here, and this is really important. Suga Sean O'Malley, that is my favorite fight of UFC 280. What is your favorite fight here?
We were already arguing about this. It's not even on the main card. It's on the preliminary. It's the Philly boy. It's Sean Brady's gonna teach your boy Bahala Muhammad a lesson, and then you're gonna find out that this kid's for real.
So, if you guys saw the press conference, Steve, you were telling me that I missed out because I don't know about a lot of you guys. I used to watch the press conferences like right when they started, but lately there's been so much going on in the mixed martial arts world in combat sports. I mean, and our guests are going to be kind of a part of that today as well.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, look at our guests over the last few weeks. 3-1. I mean, obviously, you got one loss in there because we had both Jody and Mr. Wilson from last week on. Mr. Stanley Wilson. Obviously you get a loss there, but Jamie Driver, she was successful in her fight. Courtney took her opponent out in her bare knuckle debut. So you got to love that. So the recent guests that have been enjoying the sweet victory. So congratulations to them. Hopefully they can get back in there real soon. Hopefully
on today's show, Steve, we got Jay Axon Jackson and also
man.
DJ Linderman, who,
Yeah.
man, I've been catching up on all this
names, right? We got some familiar names, some blasts from the past.
When you say blast from the past,
we used to cover World Series of Fighting like it was our religion. So
World Series of Fighting one,
DJ
Rumble Johnson,
not unfamiliar name to me and Evil Eddie over here.
So, man, I want to jump into something right away. UFC 280, that's what everyone really wants to hear about, Steve, and our predictions for this one. We have Charles Oliveira going in against Islam Makhachev here. And if we look at some of their last couple of fights, everyone is really hyping up Charles Oliveira, right? But what is the legacy for Islam Makhachev? If you guys remember, Habib's father said, after you, Habib, Islam is the one who will be the champion. This is a really important moment for Islam Makhachev. Are you feeling it right now? Are you feeling this is the right timing? Has he had the right opponent?
I think Charles needs this win a lot more just because of the whole weight cutting thing. The last fight, and it wasn't really a title fight. Everything like that. It's just like feel like he has a little bit more to kind of approve in that instance, but I don't really feel like this is the time. I kind of feel like the high that Mr. Oliveira has been riding as of late, the last few years. I mean, obviously the last loss he has. Another thing we were talking, there's that Philly connection again. Mr. Paul Felder was the last person to stop Mr. Charles Oliveira. So I mean, listen, what he's done in that time span since that fight. We talk about how weird this sport is and the highs and lows and everything like that. Charles Oliveira is riding the ultimate high right now. So we got to see if Makachev is the guy that's going to not knock him off the pedestal, so to speak. Obviously, we've already seen one major upset this year as Leon Edwards, put away Kumar Usman. So like it's not one of these things to be so surprised. I don't think he has that kind of style. Like he has that grappling style where Charles Oliveira is a world class a submission guy right now. Like nobody really wants to kind of really tangle with him in that area. When he gets into those combinations and he starts setting up things like that, he's really dangerous off his back on the ground.
And
So
you can tell how hype he is for this one too. But Steve, when it comes
that's why I
down
said, like,
to,
I feel like because of the last fight, like everything like that, people were kind of like, I don't know, is he really serious? Is it, is this coming to the end of Charles's experiment as the champion there? And I don't really, I kind of feel like it's a diss to him. He kind of feels like, I think, people are dismissing him. Maybe maybe he's paying a little too much attention to social media a little bit, you know. But at the end of the day, man, he's the champ right now. I think,
yeah.
Even though I say he has a lot to prove, it's just because it's his legacy, like it, and it's one of these things now. Like he wants us to say, like I've been here longer. I stayed the course. We just seen reports today that I seen it come across social media that Khabib said just never really his heart was never really in fighting, and he's really enjoying his time away from everything right now and away from the grind and things like that. And if that's the case, then this is what I was sitting there saying: throw that GOAT status out the window. If you ask me, if that's his real opinion of it, you gotta put him like 3-4 on that list right now.
So I like what you
If that's
said.
his real mentality of things, but and that's the mentality of him. That's this kid's mentality. So I mean that's how they're really saying this is Khabib 2.0. Well, this is how he's speaking as of right now. If that's who brought him up, is that in this kid? I don't know, but we know one thing. I seen some ridiculous thing that Charles Oliveira is a quitter from another one of our favorite fighters, Mr. Justin Gagey. Ariel Helwani was calling him out over this. Is ridiculous considering Charles Oliveira submitted him, but it's one of these things, man. I just listen. Charles Oliveira is a monster. I think his ground game has been highly underestimated over the years. I think he has gotten leaps and bounds better as he got older. I think it's another one of the case of that Sutton in that Brazilian water when they get older, man. They just get special, man. Look at Glover Teixeira right now. Like it's one of these things, man. You just can't you can't deny what he's doing right now. I don't know if this is the kid, man. I don't know if this is the kid.
So
I know
I
he has an incredible pace, and that's one of the things. If he could put on a pace to wear Oliveira out, if it was a tough weight cut and things of that nature, those are the things.
Oliveira's calling for a first round finish.
Who?
Oliveira's going for a first round KO.
Oh man, he wants to put us. Listen, I'm not fans of that, but I mean, if you're confident and you've seen something that makes you think, man, why you got to put him up there? Why you got to put Hasbulla up there?
Sorry.
Have you seen that stuff this week too?
Yeah, I did.
That he signed them.
Yeah,
Man,
I saw all of that. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Man.
I want to hear what you're saying about this because UFC 280 is huge. Oliveira is not a quitter.
I don't know about a first round stoppage.
I could see it being an early.
I say he clips him and catches him in a submission. And really put the stamp on that thing. I mean, you really would have to consider Oliveira to kind of pass what Frank Mir status as probably one of the most dangerous grapplers, most
Yeah, that's
decorated
saying
grapplers
something right there.
inside the UFC.
That's saying
I mean, it's
something
hard
right
to do
there
that
too.
considering Frank Mir actually obliterated Minotaur Nogueira's arm like it was nothing.
Yeah, I
But
you're saying something with that one right there, though, Steve.
yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, I see him going from. I see him clipping him. I don't. There's no way I see him getting the TKO or KO stoppage. I see submission, and it might not
so
be the first round. It could be the second round.
so for me here on this fight, especially what we were talking about with like Eye of the Tiger right now, when we saw Conor McGregor coming up, when we saw even TJ Dillashaw, you could say, with the Hennenbrow, like there's something in the eyes of these fighters. Suga right now, there's something in the eyes of the fighter that you can tell. Islam Makhachev, I did not see that this
Yeah,
weekend
but
so far.
there
This week.
he's a really cold guy as it is anyway. So I don't buy him a lot into that sometimes. Like I mean, Anderson Silva probably was the most stoic guy ever, but he was probably also one of the most dangerous.
Calm, cool, and collected. But yeah, you're right. You're right there. Also, I got to bring up the records here. Do you think that it's too soon for Islam Makhachev? That's kind of what we're getting to, right? It's a little bit too
When
soon
is it
for
ever
Islam
too soon?
Makhachev. But
When is
what
it
do we
ever too
usually see?
soon? I mean,
What
you're saying things are too soon. Go look at the WWE. We get them freaking throwing Logan Paul in there after 3 matches and with the world champion. Man, are they trying to freaking get that guy over so freaking bad? I mean,
but what
it's
I'm
one of these
saying
things.
here,
I don't think that's the case here. I just think it's a case of he's been so impressive, and it's one of the things. It just makes sense. It just makes sense right now, regardless if he's ready for it or not. That you know that's up for the knuckleheads and the bloggers to debate. I don't think that's the case though. I really don't.
would you agree when they say these are the two best lightweights of all time?
No,
No, not at all, right?
no,
They
no.
say this at every event, I
I
feel.
mean, not right now. I mean, dude, if Charles
Wait, Steve, could
could
we
do
see an
this,
upset?
if Charles could do this for another year and possibly get to 20 wins, yo, like listen, there's no talk about the OG goats or anything thing of that nature. I just think that it's one of these things, man. Yeah, man. I see the comments. Joey's
Joey's
excited
excited.
for DJ hopping on. You know, really appreciate him. He was sharing, a bunch of our posts this afternoon, letting his people know. So,
Let's
give
jump
us give us
into
about another 30, 40 minutes
yeah.
and get DJ on here. We'll ask him what he feels about his fight.
Yeah, that's one of the big things about the show. UFC 280 is one of the huge things about this week
Yeah,
that we want to
listen,
cover for you
we
guys.
go everywhere, man. We're gonna go to the world. We're gonna go around the world, so to speak, man. We're gonna talk
But
a little.
listen, Steve, Aljo versus Dillashaw. I feel like Dillashaw is not getting the love that he really deserves. People are saying that we missed the best years of TJ Dillashaw when really we witnessed some of the best years of TJ Dillashaw. When the people are saying what are the best bantamweights of all time, obviously you got to throw in Faber, you got to throw in Cruz. You got to go back to the Cruz versus TJ fight, right? What happened in that fight, Steve? How did you score that fight? Because for me, I had TJ winning in that fight.
Why do we have to sit there and break down TJ Dillashaw's life here? I mean,
Because I feel like people are forgetting.
listen. I do respect TJ Dillashaw. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the exciting guys, interesting characters that the UFC has had to offer
What about the Henan
over
Barrow, like
the past decade. But yeah,
Ultimate Fighter?
but I also feel he benefited from Henan with some terrible weight cuts. No one can sit there and deny that he had a lot of problems during that period of time of cutting weight, getting down to that weight, and he was having really bad weight cuts. And there's no
That's not
doubt in
on
my mind
TJ though.
that played a factor into those fights. But that's not, you can't take that away from TJ at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he'll be a top five, bantamweight all time right now. But when we're talking about this fight with Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, man. Come on, man. I see Algio doing his thing. He's from the area over here. He's a Henzo Gracie
So you're a
brother.
little biased, is what
So
you're saying.
I'm not biased, man.
Little bias over
I'm
there,
a little
Steve.
biased. It's not like he's like it was a direct gym that I had a connection to or something like that. Just because he's a Gracie guy doesn't mean I'm always gonna pick for him.
Steve, you're a little biased over there with the Philly connection.
I'm not no biased.
All right, Joey
I mean, it's not
DeFaria.
like I'm over here. TJ Dillashaw's the snake.
No, yeah,
Let's go, Funk Master.
I know.
Man, come on, it ain't like
snake
that.
in the grass, snake in the grass,
Nah,
right?
Listen. Algie has earned the spot. Obviously, people don't care for how it initially started. They didn't really care for him getting the title fight. They didn't really care for him winning the rematch. If anything, he's the guy that's not getting the respect that he deserves. You're sitting there talking about TJ Dillashaw to me when it's Aljamain Sterling's the one that's not getting the love, that's not getting the respect. He's the world champion.
And we got one of our
there's my man.
Us here. One of
There's
my
man.
No shit,
Jay
fucked
Action
up on
Jackson.
here.
You yapping on early, Jay?
Oh shoot, yeah, man. Dude, I thought you said 9:30. What's up, man?
No matter what time it is, it's the right time, Jay.
The
right?
time.
It's
Always my
action.
time.
It's
It's
always
action.
action.
Well, obviously
Action's
we're gonna
always
change
on
gears
time.
here real fast, and for the people who don't know, we got the action man, Mr. Jay Jackson, joining us here on the Combat Deviants. Make sure you're checking out Jay's fight. Obviously, that's the big thing he's got on his mind right now. But we want to try to keep a little bit what we're going with right here. How are you feeling for this UFC card of the night or this weekend? Are you going to be tuning into the pay-per-view?
Of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing some TJ Dillashaw. I swear to God.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. He's Team TJ right now. He feels TJ's not getting his love. As far as overall and things of that nature right now, do you feel TJ's gonna upset Mr. Sterling and regain that belt?
I ain't a betting man, but I love some TJ Dillashaw, man. I swear to God, I grew up watching him. I remember when he started improving on that footwork. He came up with them sonic rings, bing, 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 bing.
Sonic rings,
combinations. Them sonic rings, man. I'm a big fan of TJ Dillashaw, and I hope he does well. I love to see him back on his run. I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't give a fuck about none of that past shit. DJ Dillashaw always have fun fights. So
that's the thing here, Jay.
I'll be having a good fight, man.
That's the thing that I'm going for, right? Every time that TJ's on, my boys are hitting me up for the links for the fights. Like every time TJ steps in there, people want to know what's going on. But now he's the co-main event. Is that taken away from the fight here for TJ? For the fans, do you think a lot of fans are even aware that TJ's fighting? Or
man, like UFC's been doing that a lot. They're just getting stacked, and I think they really are having a hard time with balancing out the fame and being fair. If that makes any sense. And I don't think it takes anything away from TJ. If anything, if he wins this fight, we got TJ Dillashaw on main event shows for the rest of the year. So I'm hoping that it works out for him. I love seeing him on his run now, and we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, I love a TJ Dillashaw fight, though. Like, I'm excited about this. I don't even try to catch the cards like that all too often, but certain names like an Aldo and maybe we're all waiting for John Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if a TJ Dillashaw on the card, you don't have to
Those
get an
rumors are
entertaining
starting
fight.
to break back out, though, of John Jones making his return. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man, it's overdue. We've been waiting for a really long time.
Well, yeah, what, two plus years now, right?
Like 2+ years.
2+ years.
We've been waiting, and I can't wait to see him.
Is this John Jones redemption tour? Obviously, we all know the great things he did at light heavyweight for quite some time. Obviously, he's had some personal stuff that he's been dealing with,
Right.
for more than over the last handful of years. He's had to right some things in his life, things of that nature. Obviously the move up to heavyweight. Obviously he wants the immediate title fight. But do you feel it makes more sense for him to fight Stipe out and not go after Francis Ngannou if he signs? I think the Stipe fight makes more sense.
I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, the Francis fight is what I'm hyped for. That's what makes me mad about this whole entire John Jones life. Because, like, for like a whole year, we're talking about Francis and John Jones. You know what I mean? So we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Stipe. And I'm like, that's good.
It's more fit. It's safer, right?
Right, like it's like, yeah, I mean, because Stipe deserves it. I mean, like I used to live in Ohio, where Stipe is from, Independence. So I'm really familiar with where Stipe's from and Stipe's demeanor. But I was really looking forward to Francis for a whole year, and then
it
now
gets
they're talking
taken
about
away.
Stipe. Then it's like Stipe. We're like, all right.
Yeah, dude, that's perfect.
What the contract talks are is what it is, but you know what, Stipe Miocic should be all right for right now. I mean, you got to think, dude, he's probably not probably he's the longest reigning U.S. heavyweight champion. Period.
Parker's face. He's like, okay, Parker. Like Stipe, like, okay, Parker. That's how I feel about the Stipe. But like John Jones and Francis is what I'm hyped for, and that's
what we want to tune in for.
That's what we want to see. That's what I want to see. Yes, I mean, Francis is trying to get tested. I mean, like that's his thing. He wants to get tested. That's the reason why he's trying to go to boxing. That's the reason why he wants the big payday. So I mean, the big payday fight for Francis, for us to keep Francis, is him to fight John Jones, and I mean, I think that will explode. I mean, because that's what I want. I want to see that big old African go against John Jones. You know what I mean? See how it works out. But I mean, if he fights Stipe, I think it's definitely a challenging. I don't think Stipe is like a run over, and that's what sucks about it because like everyone, like it's like almost like everyone thinks like Stipe is like the run over guy, like John Jones will run over. It's like no, Stipe is a tough son bitch. I mean, like he beat Francis. I mean, and the first time, so like Stipe's not like an easier fight, but
who do you pick in that fight then?
You talking about against Stipe or Stipe
against Stipe, John Jones, Stipe?
I think Stipe's smart enough to beat John Jones. I think Stipe will have a strategy to beat John Jones. If anyone has a good strategy to beat John Jones, I think
the big thing about that is how John reacts to not being the guy that always has the longest reach. I think he has like an equal reach. I think John has like a half-inch reach on somebody like Stipe.
And that's what sucks though, because he's got reach for days. So I mean, it's hard to pick Stipe against John Jones because like John Jones would just use really good stand up. I mean, because he can get away with a lot of stand up that like a lot of like it's hard to mimic John Jones. It's hard to find a partner that mimic John Jones. He's got the longest reach in the UFC, so it'd be a hard.
I mean, if you basically break Stipe down, he's a bigger, stronger version of Alexander Gustafsson with less devastating kicks.
Right.
Better wrestling, better cardio. I mean,
better boxing, but I mean, at the same time, though, you've seen him get caught by Francis, and if you think that he got caught by Francis, which Francis has like really good boxing and stuff like that, but Stipe, I mean, Francis is still just a strong guy. You're about to go against a technician like John Jones who really knows how to utilize his
what makes John so special is his Greco-Roman wrestling mixed with that jiu-jitsu base that he has, and he just mixes everything in really well. And he's really long and awkward, so he's really hard to kind of get a hold of. So
he got the oblique kick. He totally gonna oblique kick the crap out of you, and he doesn't care what anyone thinks about it. I mean, like it's. you know, I mean,
We'll
like,
see what happens. See how he looks. As a heavyweight. How it transcends, how it changes him. We'll see.
I still want to see him. As like I said, my pick would be Francis. I hope we get a John Jones and Francis fight. That's what I want to see for sure. I mean, if I had to choose which fight I want to see, Steve Pay or Francis against John Jones, I want to see Francis because I mean, like, because Francis had a hype run for about a good year and a half, and we were hyped for it, like John Jones and Francis, let's go. And then now it's kind of like Steve Pay. We're like,
How long does this run for with John Jones? I feel like there's not enough respect going on because people like to
No,
say
and
what's
I'm
going
one
on
of them. I'm
outside.
definitely one of them. I definitely was a big.
It was
Jones
going to end with Francis, I think.
But
John was going to get beat by Francis, I think.
You think so? I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like,
here's the thing: John has
strong.
dealt
I mean,
with like
Francis
the
is so strong,
nastiest strike. Like his kill list for like legendary MMA strikers is insane. So it's like when you sit there and say like I think Francis is going to put him away, as much as a lot of people on this planet would like to see that right about now, it's really hard to see that because so many people have tried and have not been able to do that to John Jones.
Right, and then like you also go by like John Jones's last couple fights. You know what I mean? Like I think the last one was pretty close. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he's been looking like that gap had closed, but I also like I said during that period of time, I don't think he was taking anything in combat sports seriously. I don't.
right, and then now you know it just depends. I mean, like I'm not a betting guy, and I really don't even like to choose. You know what I mean? Like a win or lose, especially since I'm in it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like always like not like it's funny now because since I'm in bare knuckle, you can bet you people can bet. People
And
treat
that
me
you're literally leading into my next one.
Yeah, Jay,
people,
can you hold
treat
on
me like
1 second? Steve,
Go
hold
ahead,
on
Eddie.
1 second.
Yeah.
So-
guys.
So obviously, the big news this week was UFC basically making the announcement that they're no longer allowing their athletes to bet. And as you were just talking about, like you're not a betting man. How do you feel like that? Like, what would you feel like if you're not a betting man, but like Dana made the announcement with his athletes. What if
even though they're
Dave Tubman,
independent contract,
gives you guys a ring and like, hey guys, we're having this deal coming through right now. We really need you to guys not to bet on any type of sporting events anymore. How would you feel about that?
I'm not gonna be real. I don't really care. I'm asking out of the
He's like F them gambling degenerates.
well, because I'm telling you this right now. I'm a pro athlete now, and like that was like my first insult of going back to like the normal roles. Like, oh, we can bet on you now. So now people see me as like a little betting chicken. Yeah,
well, here's how I see it, Jay.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
just
they're
like-
trying to take money away from the fighters. Because you look at a lot of people like James Krause, he has this whole thing set up where it's like people subscribe and they look at his bets. There's a couple of fighters where people look at their bets and now they're not allowed to do that. So it's almost like you want to take our sponsors away. Now you're taking this away from us. So
which is bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this is not fair. Yeah, I mean, like we're all trying to eat. So I mean, like anything that take away from anyone's pockets, I don't like. Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to the subject of like fighters not being it just doesn't really affect me. Yeah, I mean, like not even like an asshole way. It's just like, I'm not really a betting guy anyway. Yeah, I mean, but I mean at the same time though, if it's taking money out of people's pockets, it's bullshit. And yeah, I mean, like especially fighters, I mean, especially with the sponsors things and all that good stuff. It's not. I mean, like I don't seeing it being fair. Yeah, I mean, like that. You're taking food out of people's plates. I mean, because I know a lot of people who bet. Yeah, I mean, they love that shit. So it's just like, yeah. I mean,
At least let us do our OnlyFans or something,
So man, they'll let you do that for the show.
What are your thoughts on that, Jay? Would you ever do that? Because I was talking last week. I might start an OnlyFans.
Do the OnlyFans thing? Nah.
No?
I'm like, my life is too boring, dog. Yeah, I mean, and my feet are ugly. So like,
Well, you can even do it. doing yoga or something,
I
just
know
like in some
that.
booty shorts or something, you
You
know?
know, like I do some yoga, do some workout stuff. It's just I mean, like it's like like the funny part is like the further away I try to get from social media, the more I gotta be in it. And
Yeah.
it's just like now all of a sudden like I'm making a living. I mean, I'm like you gotta make a living off OnlyFans. It's like, oh man, I mean, like I said, like I said, I'm not against anyone's hustle. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I put on. My life is just too. I mean, not saying it's like boring. 'Cause I do fun things, but you know,
Tune into my fights if you want to see the real action, right?
right, like get the BKFC ad.
Exactly.
Yeah, get it
Exactly.
on there. Get the ad. Yeah, I mean, but the OnlyFans thing and recording myself and just doing stuff like that. I mean, if people, like I said, people are doing their thing on there. I'm totally with being a fan too. Yeah, I mean, so I'd be a fan of you, but I won't partake in it right now. It's all good.
Now I got to ask you, son. I don't mean to cut Steve off here, but I've interviewed. Oh, I can't remember his name right now, but one of Mayhem's friends. He's all about the multiverse, and I realize your Twitter handle has something to do with the multiverse as well. Am I right
um,
about that?
yeah, like it's just it's my personal training thing. Yeah, I mean, I hold nets and I do seminars. Just to just try to give everyone just give a little bit of outlet, or give people an outlet to learn some mixed martial arts. I've been doing it for a while, and it's just kind of like my outside hustle to uh, continue to be in the mixed martial arts game. I love fighting. I love talking about fighting. I love trying to give kids a good outlook of mixed
I
martial
love it.
arts. So it's just that's what the Multiverse FC is all about. Uh, Pretty soon, hopefully, it'll become a gym, like a real gym, pretty soon here in the next year, and just give people an outlet to hit some bags, hit some mitts, and chat with me about my world travels and my MMA and bare knuckle stuff. So it's been a pretty fun project I've been doing for the last couple of years, and it's slowly but surely I think it will come.
Oh, one of my rats that I've been trying to catch for a couple days is Fievel is back right now, but he'll be good. I actually want to say something, Jay. I don't know where the name multiverse came from, but I've actually traveled, and I'm not kidding. I put this on my fucking life. I really do. And it wasn't the LSD. Like I've taken LSD since I was I'm so serious. I'm so serious too. It's so I can get really emotional about it. I've literally traveled the multiverse, and I've went through 3 stages of it. What one night? Um, do you? I don't want to get too into it.
No,
I
run.
really believe it's real because I've went into it. I'm in it right now. I'm in another universe on the same multiverse, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I had control over it too. I can't explain it. Maybe on another podcast I can get deeper into it. Do you believe in stuff like that? Because I've actually really, like, God's honest truth. My mother will contest to this. I literally thought I died 3 different times. I was in front of paramedics too, and I disappeared. Uh, it's so crazy. Do you believe in stuff like that?
Like I believe, let's see how going into if without getting too wisdom and deep about this. Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to sound either fake or like unemotionalist. It's just like
Could there
any
be?
yes, because I mean like what how many numbers there are in the world. There's and how many decisions that we do decide to make in this world and decide to make in this life. One little decision that we make or one little thing that we do can change the outcome of everything that we
Every
do in this modern day universe. And we slowly but surely have seen that as we've grown up right now. I mean, just like off the little bits of just giving a little kid a cell phone at the age of 2.
you
I mean?
experience
And
that as a fighter. As you train, you're
oh yeah.
growing your own reality, improving your body and your skills.
And I tell you this right now, like if I feel like if I would have changed anything that was part of my life right now, it wouldn't be in the BKFC right now. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I believe there's different phases in our lives right now. I mean, there could be a multiverse. Yeah, I mean, because we're still discovering things every single day. Yeah, I mean, and we're so. I mean, like what I'm someone who likes the James Webb's telescope. I love that shit. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, and I love the new things that we're discovering, and I know like other people are like have their own nits and wits about everything like that. But just with the speed of travel of life, and you're looking up and you're essentially looking at the past. Yeah, I mean, like anything can be possible. Yeah, I mean, because there's so much space in between us and the next object. So like it's. I mean, I think anything can be possible at this rate, but like I tried my best not to think too much about. So I mean, past my future, just because I don't. I try to.
Enjoy living in the
I
moment,
I
man.
try to enjoy. I try to live in my moments. Yeah, man, and not digging too deep into the future because we're already programmed to worry about the future.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
man.
I'm here now. This is the best place to be.
That's what I'm
And
talking about.
you know, like the craziest thing I can compare it to is like what do you go through when like you went the double knockout, right? What
Okay.
what happened there? Like what was going through your mind when you woke up? Like what happens there is like what I can really pinpoint into like what I would experience to
Okay.
me traveling to a multiverse.
I'll tell you the whole story about that fight.
Okay.
That fight, he was supposed to take me down, and he never did. So once we got into that first round, and I got knocked down a few times, so we got into the corner, and and every time I got hit, it was just like, what does he hit me with? During the fight, it was like, what does he hit me with? What does he hit me with? Yeah, man, and it just goes kind of black, 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 black. Yeah, man, I fall down. I'm like, shit. Yeah, man, whatever, whatever. I stayed in the moment the whole time. We got to the corner. My corner looks at me and he goes, "You know what you got to do, right?" I go, "Yeah, I got to whoop his ass. You see what he fucking just did to me in there?" Like, oh yeah, I got to whoop his ass. There was just no more game strategy there. Like, I was waiting for him to take me down, and I got knocked down like 4 times. And I was like, "You see what I got to whoop his fucking ass." I already know that's not my round. That's like a six. That was a 6-10 round. And once I hit him with the knee, I got excited because I seen him crumbling, and I knew he was gassing. I hit him with the knee. I go, yeah, and I go for the hook, and I knew my hand was down, and I see like it was like a snowball. Yeah, I mean, I see the hand come up, and I'm like, oh shit. So I try to throw mine first, and then we hit each other at the same time. I'll tell you this right now. The first thing that was on my mind was, what the fuck? That's what happened. You know what I mean? Like that. And I went forward to finish the fight because I seen him fall. Um, I I feel the ref touch my chest, say he's out, he's out. I say, yeah, but I
Yeah.
didn't have my legs. And I say, and then I go, yeah, but I didn't have my legs. I do the, I mean, I roll back, get back up, give everyone a thumbs up. So I tell you this right now, did I get hit and feel like I got hit back to the multiverse? No. I tell you that right now because I try to tell everyone, I say, I remember every fucking bit about that knockout. It was the fact, like, I just seen the snowball and it hit me, and I'm like, yeah! Like, it's like, no. When
I
the
love that.
when that motherfucking snowball came, I was like, shit! And I tried to hit him first, and then we hit each other at the same time. And then the referee said I won. I go, yeah, and
Oh my
I
god.
try to get back up, and I roll, and I got no legs. I get back up, give everyone a thumbs up, and
This is like an
it's just,
episode of One Piece or something right
dude,
here.
it was so factual, man. And I just heard the crowd is what got me kept going because I heard the crowd was just going off the roof. So I knew that we had a good fight. So like I was able to stay in that. Like I didn't go out into an outer world to go back on the subject. I didn't go into outer world. I was totally in that moment, man. Like like fighting is my life. I love fighting. So like when I'm in that ring, that's like my moment. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I heard the crowd going. Sue St. Marie was off the fucking rails about it, and I was like, I think we made history because I've never seen a crowd go
Hell
that
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, like it. Yeah, but like I said, like I do believe there could be different multiverses as we speak. But at the same time, though, like I try not to worry about it too much because, like I said, I live in a life where I have cage moments. You know, I got moments like the almost double knockout, or my the last three BKFC fights, and I'm just like, I'm always trying to get back to that moment. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
It's
dude, the left hook that you got going on for BKFC lately is absolutely
God.
insane. Versus Damon Bell, the right hook that dropped him round 3 TKO for your debut. That was absolutely. I watched all your fights today over again, man, and it was like it's so weird going back when you've seen a fight already, going back and knowing you're going to interview somebody, like you're already hyped up, but you are zooming in on one of their like main things that they're so good at. When did you realize that left hook was something really special that you have?
It's like my favorite punch. That it's like it's totally my favorite punch. So like I'm
I'm
trying
partial
to
because I'm left-handed.
right. See, I'm not. So that's my problem. I'm orthodox, but I love the left hook for some reason. I think it was just from old school boxing telling you to jab the bag all fucking day. You know what I mean? So
that left shovel hook, right?
yeah, so they'll make you jab all day until you get the jab right, and then if your jab doesn't be right, then it turns into a hook and a jab and a hook and a jab, and then oh yeah, that's right. That you're supposed to be setting up. You're supposed to be the jab should be setting up the right. Yeah, I mean, so I love my left hook. I really do.
So this is what I've been asking everyone all month. I want to get your thoughts on it. You seem like you've been following combat sports for a good portion of your life, right? Asked Burt Watson this last week. I want to get your thoughts on it. Who is on your combat sports Mount Rushmore? Who's your top 5? It doesn't matter, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai. However you want to go about it. Who's you think is like kind of the most influential people in combat sports over the last 30, 40 years?
My Mount Rushmore will be Anderson Silva. I love the Spider. He's one that got me into it. I got Muhammad Ali, of course, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins. What's that?
That's a video. You got one more, right?
I got one more. This is what's
this is the hardest part, right?
Randy Couture.
Oh, okay. All right.
That Randy Couture is the first person that Burt mentioned.
Yeah, Randy Couture. Well, because so when I first started mixed martial arts, those were like the 3 books that I got were Anderson Silva's. Yeah, because we didn't have streaming yet. Just kidding. But it was Anderson Silva book and
Five
Randy
Rings?
Couture's book and Jackson Wink's book, the Jackson Wink book, with when Rashad Evans and GSP and Dominic, Diego Sanchez and all those guys were training together. Yeah, those are my 3. Oh yeah, and the BJ Penn book.
The BJ Penn book, Steve, literally one of my favorite books. I got to throw it. Ronda Rousey's book. I don't know if you guys read this, but Ronda Rousey's book was actually really interesting to unwind her as a character, learning about her father's suicide growing up, how she didn't talk until she was about 5 years old. Like I gained so much more respect for who Ronda was as not just a fighter, but as a person. Is that something that you do normally? Is read? Because a lot of people forgot about reading lately, and
that's a part of my thing lately too. I'm glad you mentioned that because like part of my collection, like I collect all kinds of stuff, memorabilia, things of that nature. I've been building up my book collection, signed, unsigned, or in between. So
I heard that Ronda's book's good. I'm a Audible guy. Yeah, I mean, and comic book guy. Yeah, I mean,
you're a comic book guy. I mean, look at the shirt, the Venom. So I gotta ask you, how excited have you been about the MCU the last few years, man?
Man, we talking the FCU? What's the FCU?
MCU, yeah.
MCU, always talking the MCU. Oh shit! Oh, don't get me hyped. Oh god, we're going on subject I love. Oh god, like you on subject I loved it. I don't lie. I think MCU fans are spoiled. So
yeah, we are spoiled.
We're spoiled.
We are spoiled because if you go and look at the other side of that coin, look at everything that's happened over the DCEU, you're gonna be like, man, I feel bad for them guys.
I feel bad for them. Yeah, I mean,
I do.
I love everything we're getting. I'm like,
But
like
no,
everyone.
you have to admit things are looking a little bit up. You got The Rock involved in the franchise.
Which I seen it.
His movie debut, I think debut was it tonight?
No, the debut last night. 'Cause I seen it because
Yes,
I'm in
there
there
you
like
go.
that. I seen it.
Make sure
And then I
make
seen
sure
it.
you're the comic book geeks break it out and go check out Black Adam because it's gonna be the truth.
Give Dwayne a shot. He did good. You know what I mean? He might bring him
Listen,
back.
I don't have a problem giving him a shot. I think it's one of these things like we known for a while like Dwayne doesn't just doesn't take calls from everyone. They lay out a whole bunch of roles for him, and he selects what he wants.
Come on, the
But when it got to
Scorpion
the point
King,
when he got
bro.
to DCU,
That was what's up.
he didn't just not selected what he wanted. He selected the character he wanted. So said Black Adam is who he wanted. That's what he wanted, and he waited for them to get ready to pop it out for them to do it, and that's when he reached out to him. So
It's definitely a fun watch, guys. I tell you this
it's gonna
right
be
now.
yeah.
It's definitely
But
a fun watch. Go check that out. No
you got the
spoilers.
Venom shirt on. I got to ask you, how excited are you for Venom to kind of cross over from the Sony universe to the actual MCU at some point in time in the next 5 years?
I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with it. I like it's.
See, I think
confident.
how they're going to work that.
I'm confident.
I'm going to tell you right now how they're going to work that. It's going to happen after Secret Wars. Because if you remember in the comic book, Secret Wars is how Spider-Man got the symbiote.
Like, especially with the symbiote being all the way in Mexico right now. Let's go because comic book fans like to be really time accurate. It's going to take a while for that.
Oh yeah, man. I think that's the one thing that you got to say that the fans have been hard about Marvel for is they're not 100% comic book accurate with some of the stuff they've been doing, but. You have to admit, like for everything that's been going on over the past 25 years with those type of movies, how they're starting to re-intertwine things back together and make it into some type of continuity with your handle here with the multiverse is how they're making everything actually canon into the MCU. Great.
And come together. They're doing it the MCU way. So it's just like, be confident, guys. Yeah, I mean, I've had no complaints about the MCU. I like that. I watch in games all the time. I love Moon Knight. I love.
Well, I think the elephant in the room is I think the biggest problem they have is how are they going to explain mutants in the MCU? Considering we have to wait till 2025 before we can actually get another X-Men movie.
Look, they're sprinkling it, guys. They're sprinkling it. Yeah, I mean, no spoilers, but they're sprinkling it. You gotta watch.
That's
exactly
what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing.
They're sprinkling it, guys. So don't act so spoiled. We don't want it all at one time. You know, and sprinkling it. Yeah, I mean, once the X-Men come, it's gonna be the best thing in the world. I swear. We're about to get Jack. We got Hugh Jackman back. Come on now, guys. I mean, we're doing just fine when it comes to Marvel versus.
And speaking of sprinkling it on them, obviously you got a lot of things going on in your career. Eddie's throwing out something real fast, fighting in Thailand soon. I always ask a lot of the of my guests and combat sports and being involved in fighting gives you guys unique opportunities to kind of travel around the world. What is, if you could say one place you would want stamped on your passport that combat sports has brought to you, what was one place that you would want to visit?
Oh man, like I said, I'm in a traveler, so I've literally been to a lot of places. The place. Are you talking about fighting wise or just?
You can talk about fight places or just like a place where you can just go in general. You can do both if you want.
I heard you wanted to fight in Thailand.
Super bad. I've been there twice. I love the competitors that I got to meet and train with there. So that's the reason why Thailand is such a hard stamp for me. To try to get a BKFC fight there.
That's what I'm leaning towards here because they are doing cards overseas now, Steve.
Yes, I know.
I would love to get on one of those cards.
Because the first one they had Bukawa on it, man. That's how you kick it off, man.
That's how you do it. Oh no, that was I believe that was their they had. I want to say that
No,
was
yeah,
their
I think you're
third
right. It
one.
was the third card. It was the
I think
third.
that was their third one that Pooh
Yeah.
was on. But I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to overstep you or anything. But I think that was the third. But that's how you do it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like they got
I
him
think that
on
was
there.
they announced as soon as they announced that he was signed. It was within like 2-3 weeks the card was put together.
Dude, it was. I mean,
They didn't wait no time for that.
I would love to bet on that card. But I mean, like real talk, like I would love to fight in Thailand, and the two places that I would like to travel to even compete and travel, or in the travel in general, will be Australia or Japan.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
mean, like I
Those are
love
like
those two
those are like
places.
the two destination spots I always hear too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like because I've been to
Every
South.
once in a while,
I've
I
been
hear
to
Abu Dhabi. Every once in a while.
Abu
Hmm.
Dhabi. Yeah, but I mean, like I've had
Unless you're Joe Rogan.
right, Joe Rogan.
Right?
I guess so. Joe Rogan. I don't know,
Yeah.
but you know what happened with that? Like,
He
why?
doesn't want to do international fights anymore. So
Oh yeah,
Well, like he's been sitting there saying for a while, like he's basically trying to make it like where he's just doing the Vegas shows
yeah.
and
mhm.
let the other announcers take care of everything
Yeah,
else.
I'm scared of flying, bro. I'm like Mr. T when it comes to flying. You gotta knock me out, bro.
Well, not just that, like Joe's worried about it, like something like Brittany Greer happened to him because that dude smoked so much green, dude. That dude smoked
Dog.
so much green that somebody just waiting to mess with that dude.
Yeah.
And because you got to think about over the last 4 or 5 years, he has pissed off so many people.
Do you be alright on the plane, man? Like I just gotta learn to chill. Yeah, I mean I've been on so many planes these days. I'm more scared of driving than I am flying on a plane these days. I'm not
That's
even
true.
kidding.
They say that.
Yeah, there's too many idiots on the
It's
road.
not. Yeah, it's just like I understand why people like driving though. So like it's like I understand. Yeah, I mean, and I understand about being in the air. Yeah, I mean, but like after you do it a couple times, it becomes numb. It just becomes like a big ass plane. I mean, big ass bus. Excuse me, it become a big ass bus. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just in a bus in the air. You know what I mean?
So I got two more for you before I let you
I got this one.
before. Oh, you got something, Eddie?
Yeah, well, I always hear you screaming LFG. What is?
LFG!
Yeah, what's that
Let's
about?
fucking
There we.
go!
I had to do it, Steve. I had to throw that in there,
Let's
bro.
fucking go! That's what that means.
That's how
LFG!
I had to, Steve.
that's how I'm feeling right now as a Philly fan. I got the Phillies winning right now. I got the Eagles kicking butt right now. Let's
There we
freaking
go.
go.
Let's fucking go! It's like it's also like my
Now obviously you said
sometimes
Anderson's been a big inspiration on your career and how you got into combat sports. How you feeling on what's he going to do to Jake Paul in a few weeks here down in
just
Arizona?
I'm just jealous of Jake Paul. I swear to God, like don't that's it's not hate, it's not anything. It's just like this man gets to fight Anderson Silva. Ain't that a bitch? Like fuck, dude. I was like, man, like it's you know what I mean, like hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, but I was like, this dude get to fight Anderson Silva. It's you know, what I mean, I hope he's taking it seriously. You know, what I mean, there's a lot of us as fighters that who would love that opportunity. Yeah, I mean, to fight some Anderson Silva and him going up against the MMA legend, middleweight legend, the Spider. You know, I hope they knock out a good show. You know, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he, you know, and don't take that opportunity for granted. Yeah, I mean, because that's so cool. Yeah, I
Is
mean,
it
like, and
real
I.
though? Will it be a real fight?
Well,
Man,
now,
you
well,
better stop
please.
messing with Anderson Silva's
Yeah,
integrity,
yeah,
man.
don't. You better not. I mean, like everyone wants. I mean, I've heard that a few times, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think Anderson Silva is gonna. I don't think Anderson Silva wants to lose. I think that's the reason why he's still fighting. I mean, come on now. He's been professionally boxing. Yeah, I mean, for the last year.
I already said it. Anderson's gonna let him survive until 5, and then he's just gonna take him out.
We'll see if that right hand's legit. Yeah, I mean, you know, I heard that. Like I said, I heard that Jake's got some skills. So we'll see
I'm
if
not sitting
that
there,
if that
listen,
race is
I'm
good.
not sitting there saying like Jake hasn't worked to, worked on his craft to kind of build himself up over the last few years to kind of get him going. So,
Yeah, I mean, like he's been. I mean, and he's got the time, he's got the money. You know, what I mean, like you know, like I said, the only thing that comes in my mind is the fact that he gets to fight. He's fighting a legend, so that's like if there's any hate, you know, what I mean, it's just like, man, you have to step in
well,
now with
listen,
a legend. That's
the
awesome.
fans asked for this. Jake made it happen.
So
We'll see how legit Jake
we'll
is.
see. We'll see if it's legit.
If it's
You
for real or
know,
not, I tend to think Anderson's gonna have his way with him. Like I said, he's gonna survive until 5.
I just hope he doesn't. Like I said, it's just like I hope. Like I said, I just hope that Anderson Silva is legit, and then because I just seeing the conspiracy theories about all the other fights and stuff like that. Jake Paul's fights, I swear to God, I can't stand them. Yeah, I mean, like I just can't stand that. Yeah, I mean, like, oh, they're throwing fights and stuff like that. So I hope they're not. Yeah, I mean, like like I really don't want to think that boxing is going through a desperate downfall. But he's now they got a fighter that's super emotional to me, and like I hope that Anderson Silva goes in there and he does plays game with game. Yeah, I mean, and he just shows up. Yeah, I mean, and if Paul beats him, then maybe Paul would be really someone that we need to talk about. But I mean, if not, and he gets beat by what was it? Silva's about to be 50, close pushing 50, man. But he's moving like he's 13. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, Anderson Silva's last 2 boxing matches look pretty impressive. So I mean, I pray for a good turnout from my legend, and I pray that everyone comes out safe. That's the best way I can put that, because I don't have a Jake Paul hate. Yeah, I mean, like the
I mean, it's more like it's not like a real hate. It's just like it's like why is everyone giving this kid attention over like that's kind of what it is. It's not hate. It's just
it's more like
why really call that hate. It's just like it's just like people in combat sports kind of feel like there's a pecking order of things and how things done, and he is kind of broken that wheel.
Good management, man.
Now, before we let you go, Jay, obviously the upcoming fight's the reason why we have you on tonight. You getting ready to get back in there and throw them things down. In a perfect world, perfect multiverse. How do you see this fight playing out, brother?
With the stuff that me and my team, shout outs to Lions, kickboxing, MMA in Hudson, Florida. We've been putting up a really good game strategy and just really been putting up a really good camp. It's like I said, we're gonna try to give you guys a co-main event that you guys want. I know that my last few fights, I try to display good fights, and I'm happy that you guys like my fights. I want people to continue to like my fights. So that being said, like I said, I'm healthy enough. I'm hoping that I'm gonna have a good banger. This guy's a heavy hander, really long arm, and he's about 4-2, and he's going against some tough guys. So as much as one person from man to man, I hope that we just have a good show, and I know I'm healthy to get this win. So I mean, like, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like I said, I want to keep it. We'll keep it blank right now, and I'm just gonna tell you that I'm healthy. I'm healthy enough to win. So it's gonna be a good fight. Like we're gonna put it out.
Jay. I can't wait, man.
Well, Jay, I hope you guys enjoy. Do here right at the end of these interviews, kind of throw the proverbial microphone over you, man. Anyone you would like to thank, teammates, training partners, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might have, anyone that you would like to thank, anything you're doing outside of combat sports that you would like to let the people know, the time is yours, my friend.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's J Action Jackson. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at J Action Jackson, and also check out the Multiverse FC. If you guys are looking at doing someone to do a seminar at your school or something like that, hit me up. And I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank Lions, Muay Thai, Kickboxing in Hudson, Florida. We're putting on a good training camp. And make sure you check me out November 5th, BKFC 32. Let's fucking go!
LFG, bro.
Let's fucking go, LFG.
LFG.
That's
Let's
Jackson,
fucking
I'm
go.
out.
Thank
Love
you,
Jay. Have a
Jack.
good one, brother.
Good luck.
Thank you guys very much for having me, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right, everyone. That was BKFC middleweight
Hell yeah.
action. The
Love that
man,
energy.
Mr. Jay Jackson.
Now, Steve, I gotta bring something up. I don't want to switch gears too quick, but I'm gonna. UFC 280, in case people don't know, it's actually an early card. I want to bring that up to everybody.
Obviously, because it's
starting
not
at 10.
here in the States, they do it a little bit early because of the time differences, folks.
Yeah, 10 a.m. So I feel like a lot of people may miss that over here in the States. Do you think that's going to be a big no in the future when you have a
No,
big
I mean,
pay-per-views
I
like
think
this?
this is something Dana kind of stood firm on when we know a lot of things kind of got changed over. A lot of fans were upset about this, and he was like sitting there saying like, "Hey, like, listen, a lot of these guys over here in the UK and on the side of the world, they stay up all kinds of hours day and night to kind of catch the fights for that week to continually put on over here. So when we go over here, we're not as often as we can. We're not going to make the fans over here adjust to the American fans just because we're an American based company. Especially where are they again this weekend? Can you remind me where they're at again?
Where are they, Steve? Where are they?
Abu Dhabi, is it not?
Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that is correct.
So,
which is, you know what's crazy? Paul Felder, years ago, he started a GoFundMe, Steve. I don't know if you remember this. He started a GoFundMe because he couldn't afford to bring his team out to travel because the UFC wouldn't cover it. Now look at him. He's filling in for Joe Rogan, bro. Living the dream. Can we shout out Paul Felder here? That's a big spot to fill in for Joe Rogan, bro. That's huge, bro.
It is, man. But listen, Paul's put the work in for so long. I couldn't be happy for her. I was so upset when he decided to hang him out. I kind of felt like he's one of those guys who brings a fire in the cage. But he's so intelligent, so well spoken. It's just you couldn't keep him away from the game.
The world map.
That he's kind of gotten this spot. If he's the guy that kind of takes the majority of the bulk of the play-by-play responsibilities away from Joe as he kind of phases away and does other things in his life as he should. I couldn't be happier. I love Paul. You want to call me a homer or not? Listen, he's a Philly dude.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
He's a Philly dude. He should be getting all the attention he deserves. He's put the work in.
Yeah.
When you talk to the people around the,
he has a background in acting as well, so it's not like he's just jumping into this. He's prepared for this before fighting as well. Now, Steve, that also blends in with what I was about to bring up with Suga. Suga's getting a lot of hate for kind of being a McGregor fan. And I'm kind of against that because I could see what people see in Conor McGregor when Conor McGregor was in his prime coming up.
Listen, here's the stupidest thing.
Where's your son at? Get your son in here.
No, he literally just went to his mother's, man. They actually just switched his football game to Sunday night. So
he's still in for Joe.
I get like a day and a half to myself, so I'm gonna enjoy it. But yeah, I mean he's an absolute McGregor stain. He would be absolutely all over anyone time that says anything.
Well, here's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing that Suga is trying to fill in the role.
What does it matter who's fan of who? What does it matter who he's fans of? What does it matter who inspires him to do what he does in or out of the cage?
It's inspiring him.
Listen, Conor, as much as he's done some stupid things, said some stupid things, isn't quite the same fighter that he was, 5-10 years ago. Not everyone grows the same or stays the same. Who knows what or who he is if or when he comes back to combat sports. Yeah. He's shooting Roadhouse right now. More power to him. Absolute more power to him. But But to sit there and having fans, bash or try to diminish anything Sugar Shane O'Malley's doing right now, just because of the fact that he supports Conor McGregor. Conor, he's an avid fan supporter of Conor McGregor, is absolutely redundant, ridiculous. People need to get off of their triggered high horse and just let people live their freaking lives, man. Stop.
That's what this presser was, though. Everyone was triggered at this presser, Steve. You made me rewatch it as well. Bilal Muhammad was even like, Brady will be 15-1, even though the Eagles are 6-0. What did you think about that, bro?
Well, I agree with him that my Eagles, big shout out to Art History. They got another event tomorrow. Brian Westbrook will be in the house, so for the Philly Peeps, make sure you go check that out. But yeah, the Eagles are 6-0. Brady 15-1. Yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree with me, buddy. I've been sitting there. Anyone who's been paying attention to me long enough knows that I've been banging on this drum, man. Banging on this drum. Sean Brady will be the UFC welterweight champion within 2 years. Mark it down. Write it, come back and throw it down my face if I'm wrong. I don't care. Listen,
I'm saying Suga's going to be the champ, bro. That's what I'm going to throw down.
I watched this kid, grow from an amateur. I was lucky enough at the time when he was coming up. My kids were in Daniel Gracie's gym with him when Paul was the Cage Fury lightweight champion before Paul made his run
2015
here in the UFC. I watched Sean Brady throw around heavyweights like they were nothing. Zhu Nwanu, who was a former Cage Fury champion and a UFC veteran as well. There was other guys, and Sean has put in so much work in the years. Me and you were talking about this off the air. He's been everywhere from the BMF ranch down to Rufus Sport and everything back.
But does he have Habib in his corner?
The kids under 30.
He doesn't have Habib in his corner though. He doesn't have Habib in his corner.
What does it matter?
According to Bilal, he doesn't have Habib in his corner.
But seriously, what does it matter having Habib in his corner? Is he undefeated as a coach? Is he a perfect coach or something?
Yeah, right.
Did I miss something?
I love that they bring that up, and it also goes into every time I try to go in on these fights like this. This is one of the sleeper fights, Steve. Is this your pick for a sleeper fight?
I mean, listen, I'm highly disappointed it's on the undercard. I mean, like, I guess how the pecking order works and things. Obviously, you got to get people excited to turn into the event that early on. Listen, if I'm Sean and Bella, I'm saying, like, listen, I can get early night. I catch you guys later. Have a good one.
Yeah, man,
that's what I'm thinking. You get my wing, cut my check, and get on the plane and go home.
Caitlin Chukagian as well back on this card, and I'm not the biggest fan of Caitlin.
I'm a big fan of Caitlin. I'm glad the fight's still on. I understand that she had.
We've interviewed her years ago, I think.
What happened?
Me and you interviewed her years ago.
Before she was
maybe
the
like
case
6 years ago, when she was in the movie, right?
Flyweight champion.
Wasn't she in that movie?
Yeah. Funny enough, it was because I help with aspects of that, and he had Cassie Cassandra fall out, and he was like, I don't know anyone in the area who could do this. I'm like, what? What about Chukagian?
Oh yes.
And he was like, who's that? And then he looked her up, and then I reached out to her, and she eventually got the part in the movie, which I thought was great.
Awesome, Steve. Yeah. That was a great movie. I don't know what your thoughts were on it. What was the name of that movie again?
Fight Valley. It was terrible.
Really?
Terrible. I mean, there were some cool parts in it and stuff like that.
Movie?
Huh?
For a B movie, though? Like that. I mean, Holly Holm was in it. Misha Tate was in it. Aaron O'Brien.
Stop being nice and sitting there saying it was a B movie. B movie. B movie would have been better, man.
Oh, you're killing me over here, bro.
You go and watch it. Go and watch it. And then you tell me that you would pay to go watch it again.
Maybe it was because I was excited. I had Aaron O'Brien on at the time when I watched it. So I was like, I'm going to have this girl on.
She was pretty, because Aaron was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
and then
I will say Aaron, Carrie, a lot of the actors
Cyborg
involved
played a great role.
What happened?
Cyborg played great role.
Yeah, they picked that role.
They really made her into the villain there, huh?
Of course, that's what you're supposed to do.
They really made her into a real villain,
And
if you know what I mean.
the Serrano sisters, Amanda and Cindy, before Amanda really kind of blew up.
That's right. There's a lot of little like cameos in that movie. Like Misha Tate's ex-boyfriend. Oh man, what was his name? Brian Caraway made a little cameo in that movie.
Absolute douche pool.
Oh, you really in person?
Absolute. All right, listen. Let me tell you this, dude.
Please, that's what they love.
Obviously, because being involved in that, and being close and being in media, Rob was asking me for as much help as he could. So they were hanging out at the bar, and I had friends who asked if they could come down for shooting. I asked Rob, who was the director of the film, and he was like, hey, get some more people down here. We're gonna need some, we're gonna need extras. Well, apparently my friend Shannon and her boyfriend Ron was the guy, and the one thing that they went and they gift him. He was like muscle guy, and then they blew him up real big. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, that was my friend Ron. He literally lives right around the corner.
Dude, Steve, you had a big hand in this movie, and you're stepping all over it.
Apparently, it was terrible,
dude. You're like, what? I basically directed this movie. I had all my friends in it. But listen,
how? What are you doing? Want me to sit there like, oh my god, it's the greatest dude. It was better than Warrior. It was better than all of them.
Oh no, we can't go that far. But it's still like
because I was involved in it. Stop. Like, dude, you have to have some type of honest integrity.
That's how we know you're authentic. Then that's how we know you're really authentic.
But all right, so let me get into this thing. Like, so apparently Caraway was trying to hit on, my friend, his wife. That's my friend Shannon. I've been friends with her since I moved into this house when I was like 15 years old. So it's like, come on, stop playing with me. And she was like, he was trying to fucking put the moves on her, and the fucking Misha's 10 feet away.
Oh my! You're backing this up 100%. Like Misha Tate was his girl at the time. Caraway is a
and well, no, he wouldn't let anyone near her too. She was.
I could see him like that.
He was Stockholm as fuck, dude.
I totally see Caraway being that type of person, but you're also saying he was like that and doing what though? Like when you say flirty, like I get called flirty.
Listen, all I know is that I know my friend, she wouldn't lie about it. And when you look at how everything played out over the next 4 or 5 years between Brian and Misha, ain't surprised.
All right, your friend versus Misha Tate though, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does she line up here? Like paint the picture here, like.
Oof.
And this was at a bar, so if people are drinking, are drinking.
Well, see, Shannon's, she's. You're asking me to do that, man. That's like
no, come on,
friend and Misha Tate. Like, really, dude, man.
I've rubbed 3 out to Tate.
I mean, if you really ask
so she's a 7 to a 10.
Shannon could be a.
She's 3 lower to a Tate. At least.
And I also
you're not the same level as Misha Tate.
That was also pre boob job Tate too. That was
Steve, like
oh hey, y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know Misha got her things done?
Everybody. Oh my god, Steve is on a rampage right now, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm sweating over here right now. But like if Misha Tate's a 10, your friend's at least a 7, right? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Shannon's awesome, dude.
Like 3 below, right? Yeah. So I mean,
listen, Shannon's a total package. She was a single mom for a handful of years.
Here, guys. Caraway
for a handful of years until she met my man Ron. But like, dude, like she was a wild one when she was younger. Like she's awesome, dude. She's your type of chick, dude. Fucking rocker girl, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I'm waiting for the right one, man.
You got it, brother. Yeah, listen.
I'm not rushing.
Looks ain't shit, dude. You got to find the one that lights your soul on fire, brother.
Exactly. And right now, bro, things are on fire with Combat Deviants because, Steve, we broke 1,000 followers, right, on Twitter. What's our next goal here for Combat Deviants? What's something else that we want to break?
We're about to hit like 1,300. I think we're just like a few way.
So by the end of this year, where do we want to be at? What's our goal for the end of 2022?
I mean, we're gonna wind up hitting 2K before the end of the year.
Oh, and Steve, I haven't mentioned this to you. We're obviously going to do an end of the year recap show. I want to know from some of the listeners, who would you guys like to see on that show from BKFC? Because obviously we're focusing a lot on BKFC, which is kind of
just
good.
bare knuckle in general. Like, got made love for BKFC, got made love for BYB Extreme. I love what bare knuckle boxing is doing now. I would even love to get get some of Gamebred's fighters on here too. Gamebred MMA, Gamebred bare knuckle boxing, whatever. However, was it playing out? Like, listen, MMA, Muay Thai, combat sport, grappling, whoever. Like, we want to talk. We want to talk to everyone. I know we're going to have some type of a round table for the recap. Yeah, we would like to also have some fighters in the house. Pretty sure we can get more than 6 people on here, so we should have some fun for the end of the year. We always got some fun stuff lined up for the end of the year. Anyone who's paid attention to any one of me and Eddie's programs, the Christmas, New Year's Eve show, always something special. We always got something lined up. I know a lot of people go out, and do this and do that. Listen, y'all should stay and listen to us. We always got some fun stuff going on, man.
And you know what, Steve? I really want to say, not only do I want to do the end of the year show, but I want to do, since it's 2022, I want to do a BKFC, UFC, Bellator flashback of what are our favorite fights in the last 10 years. Obviously, BKFC, Bellator, and everything kind of out of the picture, but like our favorite fights in the last 10 years, I really want to bring up for people to go check out, like newer fans. Like, what should the newer fans go see? Like our next guest was on World Series of Fighting 1 against Rumble Johnson, bro. Got kicked in the balls by Rumble Johnson. Imagine that, dude. Getting kicked in the nuts by Rumble Johnson, World Series of Fighting 1. World Series of Fighting turning into PFL.
And that was before Rumble had that was when he got up to his biggest, when he just
dude, we're talking about
he left the UFC and just stopped caring about weight.
Yeah, exactly. Even Arlovsky was over at World Series of Fighting, remember? Man, I even got some one of my first events I covered was World Series of Fighting, Ray Sefo and all of them, man. What are your thoughts on PFL? They're gonna have an end of the year show.
Man, I so wanna catch that one on the 25th in New York, man.
Because Carrie, I think.
Yeah, she said she's covering it, so no matter what, we'll Combat Deviants, Belly Up Sports, we'll have someone over there covering that one.
Well, Steve,
just a simple fact, obviously the Queen Kayla Harrison is returning, and you're getting the promotional debut for Shane Burgos, who's gonna be fighting the returning technically. Marlon Moraes, which should be an absolute great fight.
This is so crazy. Who would have thought this would happen, right? Like Shane Burgos at one point was undefeated, right? Didn't he go like 21
He was on
fights?
The cusp. You already know how.
Or am I mixing him with Jimmy Rivera?
He's from that Tiger Showman crew.
Tiger Showman here.
With them guys over there, man.
I've had him on the show a couple of times, man. Great guy. And couple weeks ago, Dana was like, I didn't even realize I let him go, right? That was Shane that happened to, correct?
Yeah, I was the one Dana was like, we messed up with that one.
So I was at the last show for World Series of Fighting. It was Justin Gaethje, Marlon Morales, right? Now we got Marlon back fighting Shane Burgos, right? Who would have thought this would ever happen? What are your predictions for that one? Because that's pretty insane fight, dude.
That's a coin, dude.
That really is. That really is. That really is a pick,
man. Like you can make pros and cons for both of them. I mean, me and you are going to battle here in a few minutes about Bulla and Brady, but I got a little PowerPoint for you on that one. We'll have some fun with that. But if Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Carrie. She's ruining how I wanted to run that one, but it's all right.
So I want to talk a little bit about BKFC 31 quick, Steve, because that main event, we didn't get to talk about it, me and you. And I kind of wanted to discuss this with you. For BKFC 31 going into it, man, I had a couple of things to say, and not just about the fight. I wanted to say for BKFC, the production value of it has really gone up. I did not think that BKFC would be where it's at right now at all. One thing I was thinking about was the ref cams, though. Would you like to see the ref cams come into BKFC?
I mean, it was cool for what Bellator's done. It's cool when Strikeforce did a play on that. I don't have a problem with it, but
The refs kind of had an issue with it. But for us, for bare knuckle, I think that would be really interesting.
didn't PFL have something like that too?
For like two events. But that Doolittle Richmond fight, bro.
Yeah, man.
What do you got to say about that? That come from behind win. The head movement going on in there.
Listen, I think when it comes down to it,
the combinations, and then
as much as Mike Richmond being one of probably their better finds from the MMA scrap heap, so to speak, because Mike didn't get a whole lot of love when he was in Bellator. He was almost kind of a foregone conclusion. He was part of the whole the original tournament format. He was just always on the cusp of winning the tournament. He would wind up getting in there with a tough grappler and getting on the wrong end of a decision, and just wind up needing a fresh look. And then he just completely kind of changed his whole persona. I think went up 2 weight classes. He just started packing on the hurt bombs, and I think he got to a point where over his last handful of fights where he not only felt like he deserved the title fight, but he wanted Hunt. He wanted Lorenzo Hunt worse than anything, and I guess he was kind of disappointed they gave the fight to Hero. That fight goes down the way that goes down. I feel I feel like it was a little bit of a case of you're looking over the fence a little bit, seeing what happened was going on. God,
yeah. Exactly.
And Mike did get cracked. For anyone who doesn't know, he more than likely broke his jaw, and weathered through that, showed that United States Marine Corps toughness, gets through it, and he winds up turning it around and getting the win himself, man. Like, listen, Mike definitely deserves the position that he's in. Obviously, he's going to have to take some time to heal up. I think the real question is, how do you not book that fight between Lorenzo Hunt and Mike Richmond right now? That has to be the fight to make it, is it not?
Yeah, it's got to be, man. Because when you're looking at it for a come from behind win like that, for Doolittle, man, I had the first round going to Richmond. I had the second round going to Doolittle. And then that third round, bro, boom. It was like, you know what it really reminded me of? That head movement was like Benson Henderson. Like that whole, like, you know what I mean? I whip my hair back and forth. I really was thrown off by that. The unpredictability of that was just like, what the hell is he doing in there? And then he was able to collect himself. And really, Richmond was able to just keep it basic and just was able to weather the storm and then boom, finish him out. So I don't see how you don't book that Hunt fight. What is the next BKFC card? I mean, BKFC 32, but like, what's open?
I mean, I think they just made announcements for early December for BKFC 34. So
they're already that far ahead, right?
Yeah. So,
and you got to think
you would have to think there's probably one at the end of the year. They have to do one at the end of the year, and then their Knuckle Mania, which is right before the Super Bowl. is the
Dude.
next big one. So I would probably have to say, due to the fact that Mike also has a broken jaw, that's probably what I would have to say. Is
Yeah.
That early February card is probably where you'll see him go.
Dude, I need a week off just for my legs getting swollen. Like a broken jaw. That's like, dude, that's another thing. People don't give fighters enough credit thinking about how many injuries they've had over the years. A broken jaw, to be able to come back from that, you got to think, what kind of fighter is going to be returning? Right? Because when I was in high school, I tore my meniscus. I was never the same from that. I was always in fear of doing that again. Was my meniscus going to pop again? You know, you see fighters get knocked out. They're never the same after that. Dominic Cruz was talking about this. You see a lot of these young guys go in there. They're so beefed up on their ego and adrenaline. Your ego can be your best friend or your worst friend. And when you get knocked out, something changes. When you break your jaw, something's got to change there. But I don't see really an ego issue there. But when it comes down to it, bro, bare knuckle, breaking your jaw there, I got to give that at least 6 months. So we're going to be planning 2023, June, maybe 2023 with broken jaw. I would want, if I was on that team, if you're asking me as an EMT, bro, broken jaw, 6 months at least. Get your rest. There's no need to rush back.
I'm surprised you went right after the beginning of the event and not show some love to your boy Andrew Yates getting his win.
Oh, show some love. Show some love here.
That's your boy. You don't remember him?
No.
You don't remember him? That's another one of our old World Series of Fighting alums.
Damn,
you don't remember Andrew the Golden Boy Yates? You forget about him? Oh my God, Eddie! I'm going
back what, 6 years, something like that, bro. That's. I remember the first World Series of Fighting event I met Eddie Mercado, and I was like starstruck at the time from Bloody Elbow. It was the only time I was ever starstruck for media. It was Eddie Mercado, believe it or not. I've been in there with some of the best. Eddie Mercado from Bloody Elbow. I was like, oh my God, I watched this guy on TV. Steve, you being another one, I used to listen to your show back in the day. And then I ended up being a guest on the show. Now I'm the freaking co-host. So it's just like, dude, you're going back years, dude. You're going back.
Yeah, you're going back. I think probably what it was that 1-1 where he fought Chad Robideau. And he like completely like blew his whole knee out, and then he wound up getting like I think he got Von Flute.
Dude, your memory is something really ponder here. I don't know how you remember.
Maybe it was north south.
Dude, I don't know how you remember all of this shit. We're gonna have to do a test. We're gonna have to do a quiz with you, Steve. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do a Steve versus a fighter. We're gonna have to pick a fighter and do a quiz, a trivia with Steve and a fighter. Shane Burgos would be a good one. He went in there with Ariel.
Shane might win that one. He's
no, dude. I'd pick you, Steve. I pick you all day. I already got the trivia thing all set up. So I don't think our guest is going to be calling in here. I really want to make my predictions.
I don't know.
UFC.
Maybe there's a time difference. I don't know. I told him we're ready when he is. So we'll give him some more time. Obviously, we got plenty.
I really want to make my 280 predictions, bro. Like I'm itching at it, bro.
Well, let's backtrack it a little bit. Go back to 280. I'll rip you up on your Bullah Muhammad pick.
Okay. What do you got here?
Wow,
15-1 Brady.
So you want to get right into that one?
You're 15-1 Brady, bro.
It's 15-1, man.
Dude, here's the thing about Belal. I love Belal, but every time I bet on Belal, I lose the fight for some reason. So this time around, I feel like if I go for Brady,
you sounded just as overly confident as he does. So go ahead with that.
Really, you think Belal's got overconfident? A lot of people are giving him shit because of the miscommunication. Apparently,
of what?
He said something. He said something during the presser where it was like, "I wish you best of luck" or something like that. But it got mixed up. And people are always trying to trash on Belal. Belal's one of the nicest fighters I've ever met in my entire life. You can't give
But
him
here's
trash.
the other thing
crap.
that people tend to think about. Like,
Do I think he's going to be
why,
one of the next
you know why
champions?
Brady's so confident in this fight right now? Do you know why?
Why? I need to know why.
Well, it's because he's trained with Belal.
Back in Titan FC days.
Huh?
Back in the Titan FC era?
No, when
Recently.
like I told you, when Felder signed with Sucker Punch, they would always go down the roof of sport.
Okay.
And who would go down the roof of sport? It would be Paul Felder, Jonathan Webb, Sean Brady.
See, on my radar, Brady hasn't really been there.
See,
if I got to be 100% honest.
I mean, listen,
you're telling me this guy goes in there against heavyweights, throwing heavyweights around. Like I'm going in there expecting something big out of Brady. If I'm listening to you, Steve, here, I'm putting 300 down on Brady.
You can sit there and say would probably. I mean, here's the other thing about it, dude. Sean Brady has a freaking diesel truck gas tank for freaking cardio. The guy that just like how
the movie, but you'll hype Brady.
But no, but here's the thing, like just how, like how Felder does, he does the bike triathlons and things like, dude.
Yeah,
Brady's a freaking animal, dude. He's been working at this, since he was 16 years old. When his teachers in freaking school was just laughing at him, told him they would never make anything of this. He's just put everything into this. He's put everything into this since he was a teenager. He's put for all intents and purposes, he's been perfect in that aspect. I mean, I think what makes Sean so dangerous is that people really don't understand his crushing grappling strength. He has insane cardio, and he's not a bad wrestler. I think
how do you take that away from Belal as well, too?
I would have to think your biggest thing with Sean is you have to find someone who's a better striker than him. Someone who's faster than him and can get in and out of the pocket, make Sean pay, and also close the distance and put Sean on his back and keep him there. Have fun with that.
I think a lot of people may be sleeping on Brady for this one. I feel like a lot of people may be sleeping on Brady. I mean, if we look behind me,
it's kind of like what you were just talking about in the main event. I feel a lot of people don't feel Brady's kind of put the work in. It's kind of that old man mentality where it's like, oh, he hasn't put his dues in. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that.
Where does this fight get Brady? This is a big fight for Brady.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it pretty much gets him his choice of anyone in the top 10.
Yeah,
I think he gets anyone in the top 10. Whoever kind of makes sense in that way.
This will definitely get his name for him, because you're talking about beating somebody like Belal Muhammad in the last 2 years. His name has been on the rise. Not only is he doing great in his fights, but he's also doing the commentary as well. So he's becoming a fan favorite. This is becoming something where you got to think about, is Belal Muhammad focusing more on his commentary in this, or is he really focusing on fighting?
No, I wouldn't say that. I just think he's slightly outmatched here.
Because when I think about Belal Muhammad, I don't
the full potential first and foremost. I don't.
Did you think Belal would be where he's at a couple years ago? I didn't.
No, I didn't. I thought he was always these guys that was like he was trying to find the perfect balance.
Exactly.
His scale was going all over the place, and just over the last few years, he's found the way to kind of calm the scales down a little bit,
which is smart.
It's working in his favor. Sean Brady hasn't had to balance the scales. It's been balanced for him the entire time. Where things that Bulla has had to work really hard for
this is almost like a cowboy tilt
whatever reason it happens to be, it's come easy for Brady. That doesn't mean that the hard times are never gonna show up for Sean, and he's gonna be this undefeated fighter forever. Anyone who thinks that is foolhardy, and they are absolutely a homer. I do think at some point in time Sean will falter. I hope, and for his sake, it's before he wins the belt.
Ooh, you're going that far.
I told you he's going to be the champion within 2 years. Mark it down, dude.
I compare this to, in my book, something like a cowboy till thing, where it's like this guy Brady is coming out of nowhere almost to take on my boy Belal. So now if Belal gets beat, I'm going to be a new fan of Brady. And that's really the opening for somebody like Brady here.
Listen, dude, I used to watch him. There's this guy who used to come to the gym and had a few amateur fights, but he wasn't. He was one of the guys that just worked everyone in the gym, and he would just. I watched Sean throw him
You
like
sound like Brady
like the
going on
Randy
Eden
Couture, the
Zero,
double
bro.
leg that he hits, or or you're trying to grab the fence and he just gets you and basically almost like Brock Lesnar freaking runs through you.
Something
Well,
special.
I watched him do that to a probably 280-pound man like he was a lightweight. Listen, Sean has insane strength. The
Yeah, when
question
you see that, you know it's
is if
special.
what happened to him in the Siesta fight? You have to get him where you catch him off guard, you get him broken, you get him bloodied or something. You have to get him in a position where he's uncomfortable and he might do something where he normally doesn't. Sean rarely makes mistakes and rarely finds himself in a bad position. We'll see if Bull is able to find something to expose, if he's able, him and his team's able to figure something out. I don't foresee that. I'm not sitting there saying Sean Brady's going to put Bolo away or anything like that. I'm just saying he's not an easy
What
out.
are you saying
I'm
here?
just
What's
sitting
your
there saying
prediction for this?
that the 15-1 combat is going to come to bite him in the ass because Sean takes things personally sometimes. But hey, we'll see what
I
happens.
hope you're not feeding me too much BS over here, bro. If I put some money down, I better win it, bro. I better win some money if I put it down because it's on us. Am I getting a phone call over here? Because my phone's dead. Is that your phone?
No. That's definitely you, buddy.
It's my mom, bro. My mom's calling.
Well, tell her we got like another 5-10 minutes because we'll give DJ a few more minutes.
So here, I got to bring this back up. Beneil Dariush, bro, another fighter on this card that's not getting enough love. He's been on this roster for how many years?
Gotten the love, man. When he had everything going his way on the way up, man.
And he even said it. He was like, line them up. It's not about politics to me. I just love fighting. So how long does Beneil Dariush have here? Because at this point, I thought we'd see him at BKFC or in Bellator or PFL. Are you surprised that you're hearing Beneil Dariush is on this pay-per-view?
I'm surprised, no, but it's one of these things. Like even if he is on his way out, it's not one of the things that a lot of these guys are really going to say because they don't want to. They don't want to get put in those matchups. They don't want that Nick. They don't want that Nate Diaz treatment, man. They don't want to get the budding star that's been smashing everyone on the way up.
Yeah,
as they're on their way out, trying to be in a good contract situation.
He's really stayed pretty quiet, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot more newer fans. If you look at the last 5 years and the last 10 years, the last 5 years, I think, are double the fans, bro. We're getting way more fans now than we ever have, ever. And you're looking at people like Beneil Dariush. People have no idea who that is right now. Am I right or am I wrong there?
Yeah, a lot of people really don't know who Belarus is, but
Belarus.
he's one of these guys, man. That just
Belarus, Steve. Dude, that was a good one. I need that one, bro. What the fuck, Belarus? All right, let's get down to our predict. That was good. Let's get down to our predictions here because for UFC 280, this is what people really want to hear is our predictions. This is what's going to be cut from this podcast. UFC 280 predictions starting at 10 a.m. for the prelims on the pay-per-view. We got Oliveira going in there to defend his title that isn't there, Steve. Like this is kind of a crazy story, if you ask me. Going against Islam Makhachev, who is the story of Khabib Nurmagomedov. When Khabib, I mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast, when Khabib's father passed away, he said, "Khabib, when you retire, we're passing it to Islam. That will be the next champion here." Right?
That's what I remember.
What is your prediction?
For the main event, I'm going to Charles Oliveira, dude. Like I said, He's riding too much of a high. Everything is going his way. He's gonna what? Isn't he gonna pass Khabib for what wins?
Let's see what we got here. We got longest winning streak in UFC lightweight history. Oliveira with 11 and Islam Makhachev with 9. Khabib with 12 between 2012 and 2020. Except for that, when he returned in that 2-year layoff, when he fought against Daryl Horcher, was it? Right? Remember that one? Khabib almost lost in that fight. If anyone wants to go back and watch.
Another CFC alum, Mr. Daryl Horcher.
Who got into a bad motorcycle accident after that.
Yeah.
Who fell off the page. But yeah, my prediction for this, Islam Makhachev, I'm going with, Steve, to get him by submission in round number 2 or 3. I'm going to go with 3. Islam Makhachev submission round 3.
And we're definitely going the opposite here. I'm taking the champ Aljamain Sterling to put away the little snake in the grass.
Ooh. So for TJ Dillashaw, obviously with Mr. Needle Show, as Aljo would call him, Aljo saying TJ's not in the embedded episodes. Doesn't that remind you guys of something? Is he on the juice this time? And TJ comes back and says, you're about to get your ass whipped by a cheater. He says, test these nuts, Steve. And I'm going to say, I'm putting my money on TJ's nuts, and you can spread them all around with that peanut butter that he was selling a couple of years ago, bro.
Oh, no, man.
I'm going with TJ here.
Your nuts, and make sure you go check out the sponsor for Belly Up Sports and Manscaped, and trim your pubes, my friends, making all nice and clean for the ladies.
What time will Islam match start? Says Geet Nazari. I believe if the prelims are starting at 10 a.m., I'd say about 2. So then about 4, I want to say 4 o'clock the main event.
Probably,
Eastern time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be clear about that.
Going back to Joey's thing here, it's going to be a night of underdogs. I think Dillashaw, Oliveira, Dariush, Banal, and hoping for O'Malley, but that's tough. So yeah, like I said here, I'm going to go with TJ. I think he's going to get that belt back. I think it's going to go back to the rightful owner. It hasn't felt like it's been in the right hands lately. I mean, it really hasn't, Steve. TJ deserves that belt, and we're gonna see, because this is fighting, and one man comes out the winner, and TJ is that man, bro.
Did I miss something? Was he not a proper champion? Did I miss something? Did he do something wrong?
Yeah, well, he did. He's Mr. Needle Show.
Get it now. This is what it is. You got a little TJ juice on your chin, don't you?
A little bit.
Don't you?
A little bit.
Come on, man.
See, I don't really take that though. I don't really take that. He's been good. He's been good. He took it on the chin.
Or hasn't earned his spot. He had his time. His little juice box is running out of juice. So we're gonna find out who TJ Dillashaw really is.
We'll see. I mean, do you really think Aljo's gonna win this fight?
Yes, I do.
Really? What's your prediction here? Because I'm going to go with TJ Dillashaw via decision.
I'm going to go Algio via decision.
That's definitely where it's going to go. And we're all going to hold hands waiting for that one too, just like that. Right?
No, we're going to fall asleep watching that one. That's what's going to happen.
There you go. Dude, Steve, that was perfect, bro. All right, get into the next one.
Yeah.
Obviously, what do we got here for the next one, Steve?
We got Peter Yan versus
yeah, we do.
Suga Shane O'Malley.
And this is a big one to predict on, Steve.
Peter Yan has just been getting the really tough go at things right now.
Bro, he's not 5'5". He's 5'7".
He's going to find that championship stride again and get back to his winning ways. You'd imagine it might be a fight like this, but I find it really hard to overcome. Like I think if anything, Sugar Shane O'Malley is one of the guys that they are grooming to take over that division at some point in time in the next few years. You can say whatever you want. Like he is literally the poster child of what UFC kind of looks at. Like he
That's the
has all
UFC
three
poster
phases,
child.
man. He has the tools in the cage. He has the charisma on the mic, and he has the people's attention. He had like, listen, we were literally just talking about because he's a McGregor fan. People are running their mouth. Listen, he knows what he's doing inside and outside the cage. The question is, can he keep this right long enough to mature and find that other level to make sure that he doesn't falter in the later stages of his career like Conor McGregor has? I think he's absolutely cost himself the twilight of his combat sports career by not doing what he needs to do to be a well-rounded mixed martial arts. You can quote me on that. You can take it to whoever you want to. Conor, it will always be a great man in this sport. You know, regardless if you feel he should be on that Mount Rushmore of influencers or people who have a special place of this. But Conor has absolutely thrown away parts of it, and I think it's due
Huge
to
parts.
the mentality of not having it, man. Like when you get to a certain point and having that much attention on you, it breaks people in different ways. Go ahead, brother.
That fight, UFC 205, bro. UFC 205, bro. I thought that was going to be the start of it all. It kind of reminds me of the Chuck Liddell era. Like we thought it was all going to be the Liddell era, and then poof, like it all kind of.
Well, the problem was that Chuck had already did everything he had to do, or like before that,
earlier on, yeah.
Like you guys don't realize like when his fights with Renato Habalusa Brawl, man, like dude, he was the guy at that time, and then like no one saw Chuck coming, no one saw, and then he was just larger than life at the time. Listen.
Everyone had the haircuts, bro. I remember it like it was yesterday, dude. Remember it like it was yesterday.
He was like the popular Halloween costume for the macho dudes to fucking go out as for the better part of
literally, dude. Literally, I'm not even joking.
The early to late 2000s was Chuck's time, man.
Yeah, it was. All right, so your prediction for that fight with Suga and Jan, I'm going with Suga TKO round 2.
I'm gonna go with Sugar as well. We'll agree. We'll actually agree on this one.
Nice,
but
nice.
I don't know about the stoppage. Jan is a grizzled veteran in this sport, so we'll see if he can get Pierre out of there. I don't.
Will he be surprised by the speed of O'Malley? Because O'Malley really seems focused on this fight, Steve. It really seems like he's really taking this very seriously, realizing
that a lot. You know,
since
his early days in MMA to the birth of
the next fight's the championship, Steve. Right?
Yeah, if he wins this one, I mean, obviously Peter Yan's what 2 fights removed from being a world champion. So
yeah,
let's not crown Sugar yet, but I think this will be a tough test that he will pass.
Can't wait.
With flying colors or not, that's up that's up to the MMA gods to say how they see this fight to play fit. I just see he's getting his hand raised, and I see it being a split decision. I think it's going to be a close fight.
Lastly, if we got to rate this on excitement level of 1 to 10, Steve, take away the early start. I got to give this about an 8. I'm really excited for all 3 of these.
I'm excited for it. The start time is rough.
Real rough.
That's not the big issue I have with it. It just we've been doing this for so long, been following the sport for so long, and watching how they. It don't have the pop, man. I don't know what to tell you. I listen as a combat sports fan, yeah, but like when we're talking about how it's looked at in the sports world as a whole, like it. Ask somebody out of the combat.
It's a 26 consecutive sellout for UFC.
Just because the sport's popular doesn't mean that everywhere in the United States overly accepts it.
All right.
So you hear the way I'm talking about, Sean Brady and a lot of the guys in the area. Well, they don't get any of the big media companies, the Fox 29 News, CBS News, NBC, whatever. Do you see them covering the UFC? Do you see them covering
No.
the UFC fighters when they even fight? No. The only time you hear that, hey, you want to know what
When
Sean Brady
Connor,
got mentioned for this fight? Because he was training with Lane Johnson in the offseason. So when I sit there and try to tell you that
Oh.
Sean Brady is going to absolutely obliterate Bullah Muhammad, be
all right, your
prepared.
prediction there obviously is going to Brady, bro. How do you see that last one? How do you see the Brady fight go? And how am I going to see my boy Belal get smashed
No,
this time?
I mean, listen. As much as I'm hyping Sean up and talking a lot of smack, listen, I'm going to talk a lot of smack.
You got it though. This is a
Show
podcast.
somebody
You gotta hype it.
I will blindly support. Through and through. That being said, taking that cap off and putting it on, it's going to be a good close fight. And another one,
It's going to decision, Steve. It's
no,
going
I
to
think it'll
decision.
be another split. I think it'll be a good fight.
Split decision for Belal Muhammad, bro. That's what I'm
No.
going for.
Nah. See, here you go again with this nonsense.
Dude, this is what excites me, bro. I cannot wait to see the hype of Brady going against Belal. So, guys, let us know what you think at Combat Deviants on Twitter. And Steve, lastly, are there any upcoming events that you're looking forward to before we end this thing?
No, I mean, listen, everyone, just make sure you guys are tuning here for all the programming we got here. Obviously, UFC's got some great stuff planned for the end of the year. Really looking to that Eric Anders, Kyle Dawkins fight, seeing if Kyle can get the Dawkins brothers winning ways going back in the right direction. Eric has had a rough go of it the last few years, and lots of ups and downs. We'll see how everything plays out for that one. That should be a fun fight. Obviously, like I said, BKFC's already made several announcements. BKFC 32 is going to be main evented by Houston Alexander and Carlos Beltran.
Ooh.
So that should just be
our boy Houston.
One of those ones where you can't blink, go to the bathroom, but as soon as you hear the walkouts, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You cannot miss that fight.
Man, Houston Alexander, bro. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to him soon. I'm actually gonna send him a text message.
I'm trying to work it out for everybody.
I'm gonna message him right now.
Said, we got a special one for you guys this week. We're gonna have a special interview Thursday night. Me and gonna
oh my God! I'm home. Steve,
so you guys are gonna have to keep tuned in to see what's what and who's
biggest interview of my entire career coming up.
So
bro.
Again, we're doing a lot of stuff on the giveaway side of things. Make sure you like, subscribe. Share your thoughts with us on the social media platforms, regardless if it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Steve,
Twitter.
can we say who we're interviewing this week or no?
I mean, yeah. You can announce it now.
You announce it, bro. I'm too scared to, dude. No, for real. Like this
is
a huge deal in my
basically,
career.
I've been waiting to set this interview up for a while. I've been talking to Eddie about it. Been talking to our potential guest about this. So anyone who's been a fan of boxing, especially myself, being from Philadelphia, there's some roots to it, as we're going to be joined by the late Tommy Morrison's wife, Trisha Morrison. She has some disturbing evidence that she wants to kind of bring to light, that she's been trying to bring to light, that I think if it's true, what she's saying is 100% true. It has to be the biggest scandal in boxing history. We'll see how that plays out. We're gonna be joined by her next Thursday night. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central Time.
Did I tape that?
That being said, we gotta wish the best of skill to Kinsey Morrison, who will be fighting October 22nd. That will be part of the fight that should be on Fight TV. So for Triller, so we'll see with that, and also that Roberto Duran Jr. will also be fighting on that card as well. So for all us old school boxing heads, You got two boxing legend royalty on this card. Absolutely no reason to kind of tune in and watch that. So make sure you guys find a way to tune into UFC 280 this weekend. Also, make sure you find a way to check out that boxing event.
Wake up early, guys.
We got
Wake
so
up
much
early.
stuff going on here. We got giveaways going on. Again, I'm working on another one.
Yeah, what else you guys want from me?
just for Belly Up Sports. I got some things that right here. We got Mr. Ben Troop signed rookie card. He's gonna be since you got me singled up here, so we got it again right there. Ben Troop.
Look at how nice that looks. Damn, bro.
So we got, and I got a whole bunch more like a specialty ones like this. I got some basic ones. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a little pre-Santa Steve stuff going on. So we're gonna do at least two of the signed card giveaways coming in November. Guys, make sure you're following Ben on his Twitter. Make sure you're following his podcast. The 84 questions podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to Belly Up and obviously us over here at Combat Deviants. I'll probably do to get some more of you guys is do some score predictions for probably some of the college games, probably some of the NFL.
We got a lot
games.
of stuff to give away, Steve.
Yeah, dude, you see Eddie, man, he's not playing around either. We got a lot of stuff that we're gonna give to our our hobbyist fans that pay attention to us, that support us, not just here at Combat Sports, but everyone on the Belly Up Sports Network. So guys, please like, subscribe, share. Let your mom know, your aunt know, your uncle know. Make sure you guys are tuning in to all of Belly Up Sports programming. Make sure you guys are showing love to our sponsors, our other affiliates, things of that nature. See, Eddie's not playing. He's got a whole bunch of stuff here too. I still got some more posters over here. I got some more 8x10s. I might do something special for the Anderson Silva and Jake Paul fight. I do have an extra UFC 162 event poster laying around. I might just give a winner one of them.
Ooh, really?
Who's that one?
Keyshawn Johnson, college.
There you go.
Keyshawn
Johnson. So I guess we'll have to reschedule with Mr. Linderman, unfortunately.
Yeah, look at me going through my cards right now. Yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe down below. And much love to everybody tuning into the podcast, especially for the audio. Steve got like a whole thing going on over there, and we got maybe some Chuck Liddell autographs coming soon too. We're working
on it. We'll see what we can put together. Hopefully, we can get everything squared.
Bro, I got an autograph from Baby Jesus over here. So watch out. Dude, I got an autograph from Mordecai himself, bro. Satan himself, dude. All right. That does it for this episode of Combat Deviants with Steve and Evil Eddie. And we will see you guys next week for one of the biggest shows ever. See ya.